Hi there, we're back at Keyhole State Park, where today we're going to be looking for some wildflowers. Even though it's been a gloomy last couple of weeks, the wildflowers are one thing that's never gloomy. So let's go explore some of the colors of the park and see what we can capture. Let's go! This season has been especially great to see all of the colors that the native plants around us can provide. For example, I'm sitting in a patch of tumble mustard, something that may be more familiar as a tumbleweed. When the tumble mustard becomes mature, it breaks off and forms that tumbleweed that blows around in the wind. Oh. Pronghorn! Not only are wildflowers pretty to look at, they're also super important for our local ecosystems. For example, let's go take a look at some scarlet globe mallow. So here's some scarlet globe mallow. And it lives up to its name in that it's got a nice pretty reddish pinkish flower and these kind of small light green leaves. One of the things that's super important about scarlet globe mallow is that it's a key food source for sage grouse. That's just one example of how wildflowers serve as important resources for the organisms that live in this area. Next, we have another very common wildflower that you'll see at the park. This common white yarrow. Yarrow is one of the plants that you'll see growing really commonly throughout the open areas as well as in the forested areas of the park. It's also great because a lot of species, including deer and pronghorn, use it as a food source. And fun fact, Keyhole State Park and the surrounding areas hosts the largest white-tailed deer population in the state of Wyoming. So it's clear that to support such a large deer and pronghorn population, wildflowers serve as important foraging resources. And a great way to identify yarrow is these clusters of flowers that grow really close together and these really fine, feathery leaves. They're very distinctive. Next, let's take a look at one of the park's most tenacious plants, the prickly pear cactus. These are blooming all over the park right now. And they're really special because of how they are able to survive in arid or dry climates. The cactus is able to hold and conserve water so that in times of drought it's able to survive. As we can see, it's got this really nice yellow or sometimes pink bloom. And they're kind of a staple out in this semi-arid climate that we have. Check out this milkweed. Milkweed is a really good resource for a lot of our local pollinators, including butterflies. Ooh, an ant. Hey, guy. Yeah. And they grow commonly in open prairies like the one that we're standing in right now. Beautiful. Behind me, I have a big field of sweet clover. And while it isn't especially harmful, it's not really usable as a food source for deer or pronghorn. And it spreads really quickly. You might see sweet clover along ditches or along a lot of the roadsides here throughout northeastern Wyoming. Whoa! Let's wade into the thick of the sweet clover patch. And they just got a really nice drink of water for sure. Wildflowers serve a lot of important purposes as food resources and even for habitat for lots of different creatures here at Keyhole State Park and in the surrounding areas. There are a lot of different ways to capture a unique experience and explore the natural world. Today, we're going to be exploring how to start a nature journal. Nature journals are really great because they allow you to explore and be creative while capturing a new species or experience while still being a good steward of the environment. Today, I'm going to draw this milkweed. A, because I think it'd be really fun to draw, and B, because I'm not exactly sure what species it is. If I make a drawing and take some notes, I might be able to determine exactly what species it is and other things about the plant. Okay, and the key thing to note is that your drawing does not have to be perfect at all, actually. Let's get to drawing. Once I've taken my pictures, I can go home and color in my flower and make any more notes that I notice as I'm exploring what species it might be. You can probably tell it's a different day. It started raining while I was drawing, so I decided to finish up our beautiful milkweed flower now. This is just a basic layout of what a nature journal might look like. And now, not only have we seen a bunch of new wildflowers, but we've been able to engage with them in a creative, fun new way. You can either carry a little notebook like this to take notes with. You can even take notes on your phone and take pictures as you go along if that's what you like better. Really, there's no wrong way to pay attention to the world around you. And when we pay close attention to the details about the world around us, it's a lot easier to see how things interact and interrelate. I hope you had fun, and I hope you'll consider trying something like nature journaling in the future. As you can see, there's a huge diversity of plants within our ecosystem that all have unique purposes. Some plants serve as food sources for a lot of organisms throughout our ecosystems, while others are important for promoting our pollinator population. We also learned that there's so much to explore, both within individual plant species and in how they interact with the ecosystem overall. We learned that there are a lot of different ways to explore our local wildflowers, one of them being nature journaling. The next time you're out exploring your local wildflowers or local ecosystems, I hope you remember that there's always more to explore, and it can be a really rewarding journey to take the time to look for new species of wildflowers and connect with the natural world.